My mother always used to say, the older you get, the better you get. Unless you're a banana.
Welcome to Ask the Beauty Advisor, a podcast that answers your health and beauty questions. Hosted by health and beauty advisor, Deanna Lynn.
Unless you're a banana. Oh, that's right. Old bananas get dark spots. Hey there, welcome to Ask the Beauty Advisor. Today, I have a great show for you because it's all about how to get rid of those dark spots and skin discolorations. Today's episode is brought to you by Global Skin Solutions. Global Skin Solutions is a multi-ethnic skincare line, corrective skincare line. And our guest for today is the founder of Global Skin Solutions, Pamela Springer. Pamela's here today to share with us her experience and expertise on how to remove hyperpigmentation or skin discolorations. But before I bring our guest on today, I'd like to invite you to Ask the Beauty Advisor on Facebook. This is a place where I post daily helpful, motivating, inspiring health and beauty tips. I have now made it possible for you to shop for the skincare that we talk about on the show. You could also join the monthly newsletter from the Facebook page, or you could even leave me a voicemail. You can now do all of that either on our Facebook page, Ask the Beauty Advisor on Facebook, or you can go to the blog, www.askthebeautyadvisor.com. And as always, if you'd just like to join the monthly newsletter, you can do so by texting me the word skin, S-K-I-N. Text the word skin to this number, 444999. That's 3 4s, 3 9s. Text the word skin, and voila, I shall put you on the email list. All right, with all that being said, let's go ahead now and tune into that interview I had with Pamela Springer. Hey there, Pamela. Welcome back. It's great to have you on today.
Well, it is great being back.
Well, it's truly always a pleasure to have you here. How's your holidays been going? You've been enjoying the holiday season this year?
Well, I didn't really get into it, but it was good just having the time to yourself and being around friends and family.
Well, I see you hooping it up on Facebook. Well, I'm glad you took a little time off and you've been having some playtime. You deserve it.
Yeah. He says all business. What is it, Johnny? Is a dull boy or something?
Yeah.
I used to know that. So I was pretty dull.
Yeah, me too. I got to get out a little bit more. Well, let's go ahead and get the show started. You've been on before, and the listeners are always very excited when you're here. Today, you're going to share with us how to treat hyperpigmentation. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. I think that's one of the number one conditions that a lot of people really want to understand.
Oh, yes, you're exactly right. Hyperpigmentation is a big concern. There's a lot of hyperpigmentation going around. So why don't you start first by explaining to us precisely what is considered hyperpigmentation?
Well, when it comes to hyperpigmentation, there are various, I call them lesions, but, the skin has been traumatized. I like to try to explain to people about what an indirect and what a direct lesion would be, or insult. When it comes to hyperpigmentation, most of it is caused by the sun. And we call that one a direct insult. When it comes to the sun, the end result is sun damage. But the damage is mostly on the surface or just below the surface of the skin. And that particular hyperpigmentation is easier to work with than, let's say, what we call indirect insult, which might be your hormones causing the problem, or possibly medication is causing the problem, or a condition that you have like psoriasis or eczema. And some of those, well, they're going to be a little harder to, control or to actually get rid of. So depending on where that hyperpigmentation is, it ends up getting you to either see a quick results, or the ones that are deeper, the pigmentation is deeper into the skin, it's going to take, you won't see any type of results for 3 or 4 months, and it'll be a very hard condition to actually get rid of.
Now, when you say the word hyperpigmentation, you're referring to uneven skin tones, freckles, age spots, acne, scars. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And hyperpigmentation is caused by the pigment cell. And when there is any kind of trauma to the skin, it rushes up to that area that's been traumatized. Okay, let's say the sun. All right. And over a period of time, you're going to start seeing brown spots. In people of color, let's say you get inflammation from acne, that inflammation stimulates that pigment cell to go and assist in healing the acne. But now, once it's clear, the actual lesion leaves a brown spot, and that's in skins of color. On Caucasian or lighter skin, it's going to be a red spot because there's no pigment color in that skin.
I've also seen, Pamela, on a darker complexion. I might have seen it randomly. I don't remember seeing it on a lighter, where it actually turns black after you put the benzoyl peroxide on. Is it because of the oxygen?
It is the oxygen, and then sometimes it's a little too aggressive depending on the percentage. If I do a benzoyl peroxide, because it can be very irritating to a darker skin. Mm-hmm. Remember, a lot of people look at someone of color and they see how sturdy that skin looks, and they tend to look at it as a thicker skin. All of that may be true, but it's very sensitive to the hyperpigmentation. So if anything is irritating to the skin, it is going to eventually turn a dark brown or be a dark lesion. So
it's almost black, and I've seen
and it depends on, like, let's say if it's a higher percentage of benzoyl peroxide, it is irritating that skin. So when it comes to people of color, I always say be very conservative, even with your acids or even your home care products. Know what that pH is of your cleanser. Know what the pH is of all that of your products, so that you can actually have products that will be in line with that skin type. Finding that really being conservative with all skins, no matter whether you're dark or light or a Caucasian skin, I think a lot of times we use products that are too irritating. And if you're Caucasian or lighter skin, you're going to see it because you're going to see all the redness. You can't see that in a darker skin individual.
Right. Well, let's talk about some of the ways that we can treat hyperpigmentation. Let's start first with kind of like a medical or a really aggressive ways that like lasers. Tell us something about ways that doctors or physicians treat hyperpigmentation.
Well, they can use lasers. Some can be urban laser, which is more or less in the epidermis or the top layers of the skin. Or they can do like IPLs that will go deeper into the skin to eradicate hyperpigmentation because of the actual laser they choose It's the chromophores that will break up those brown spots and all. Now, there's only a small percentage of individuals that can get fractional lasers or IPLs and all of that. And it's because the deeper it goes into the skin, the more stimulus it would be for that pigment cell. So if you can think of, visualize, on a Caucasian skin or a lighter skin, the aftermath is going to be red. You're going to see a lot of irritation of the skin, and then it's going to calm down, and then you notice that the brown spot is gone. On a person of color, and when I say a person of color, I'd like to quickly define that. I mean, the population really has grown a lot. You have a lot of Hispanics. You have Asians, your South Asians. You have Mediterranean skin. So at a certain point, that laser is going to irritate those pigment cells, and you're not going to see red anymore. If you are a lighter skinned person of color, you may see the red, but then you're going to see the brown. So it's very important for the audience to really know the person that they're going to if they choose to have laser, and make sure they understand your skin and your ancestral background. Because when we look at an Italian, let's say, we automatically say that person's Caucasian. But he or she tans very easily, usually, especially if they come from the southern part of Italy. They're going to tan very easily. Well, that's going to tell somebody that there may be a problem using certain lasers on that skin. And it's best to go and get non-invasive treatments like your chemical peels, your microdermabrasions, and those agents that will actually pull that pigment out of the skin, and do it very cautiously.
Now, when you're speaking about problems with the skin from a laser treatment, what problems are you talking about? Are you talking about the darkness the dark spot even getting darker or worse?
Well, if it's a discoloration getting worse, 9 times out of 10, they're not being compliant with their sunscreen. Okay. That's the number one reason for the cause of a lot of these dark spots. It's the sun. So if you want to have that beautiful complexion free of those dark spots, you have to be very compliant with the use of sunscreen.
I know, I think a lot of people think that dark spots come from age, but really the dark spots are coming from the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, our skin slows down all of the, mechanisms of the skin, or your cells become sluggish and all of that. And yes, the age spot is caused by the aging, but the darkness is caused by the sun.
Yeah.
And
it seems like it shows up as you get older, so everybody associates it with aging, but actually it's the damage you've done to your skin when you were younger.
Absolutely. And teenagers, they don't understand, and even the younger, those in their 20s and all, they start understanding in the 30s because they start seeing the end results of tanning, or going to tanning beds and all of that. All of a sudden, they're starting to see their skin change. And I've always been told that every 7 years, everything in our body changes. And especially for women, we're preparing to get to that point of menopause. And so things that are slowing down that you may not see when you were 20, it's already there, but it hasn't come to the surface. And you start seeing those different types of lesions or dark spots or discolorations. When you're 35, you start to see fine lines and wrinkles, and slowly all of this is coming to the surface. And people think it just got there. No, the damage was done when you were laying out in the sun when you were 16.
Right. So now, Pamela, let's talk a little bit about how a facialist or esthetician treats sun damage and discolorations?
I always look at the age of the skin. How old is that person? A lot of people that finally come to an esthetician or they're looking for professional treatments, they don't come until they actually see the damage to their skin. The first thing that's important is being able to use products that are going to enter the skin and give you some sort of results. Well, you have to, you have to look at the skin, that esthetician will look at the skin and realize that the products that the client may be using isn't penetrating because there's a buildup of dead layers of skin because they've never had it exfoliated. So naturally, you begin with an exfoliating process. And I always like to begin with the enzyme before I go to a chemical peel. And once you eradicate that buildup, you're going to now make sure that your client has a home care product that works with whatever it is you're proposing to do. And sorry about that. I thought I had my ringer on. So if it's hyperpigmentation, of course, they're going to give you products that are going to help lessen that hyperpigmented area. And again, they need to understand what type of hyperpigmentation. The easiest one of all is sun damage, because that's more or less in the surface. The hardest is going to be patches from pregnancy, which we call melasma, age spots, some of those freckles, lentogens, which are the freckles that are caused by the sun. So because they're deeper, they're pigmented deeper into the skin, they're deeper. So you're going to have to do more aggressive chemical peels because you have the superficial, the very superficial, you have the medium depth peel, and you have the deeper peel. Usually the deeper peel or the medium depth peel is going to be administered by someone in a physician's office. But now you have microneedling, you have dermaplaning. It's all about getting those dead layers of skin so that the products that you use to change the skin, those ingredients will penetrate.
Now, one of the problems I see with clients is that they don't realize how important home care is, that they need to continue after a treatment in the salon, that they need to continue treating the problem at home. I think sometimes they feel, well, I paid this esthetician to take care of this, it should just magically disappear. But they need to continue the treatment at home with home care. I really feel the number one reason that clients don't get the results that they're looking for from a skincare professional, that they don't use the recommended products or procedures at home.
Absolutely. Number one, they can't leave without sun protection because now you have new skin that has, surface, because when you get rid of the old skin, it signals new skin to replace it. And that's how the mechanism is on all of our skin. We shed skin, but when you get the chemical peel and microdermabrasion, it is shedding more skin, more dead cells. So now those skin cells say, oh my God, nothing's up there. Let's hurry up and get some new cells up there. And then they go out in the sun unprotected. That's like, a no-no. So I also tell clients that you are with your skin every single day. You cannot rely on a professional to do the work. You have to work. It's like a marriage, working together with your professional. You go and see that professional every week, depending on how deep the pigmentation is, or every 2 weeks, or if you're just wanting anti-aging treatments, it might be once a month. But you have to have something on that skin, working on that skin every single day. So that's your job because you're with your skin. And we only kick it up a notch, if you will. When you come in, now we get the skin to a different level, but you've helped it by actually using your products to get to a higher level than if you're going to wait for me to do it. It's never going to happen, especially with well, most skin conditions, if it's acne, hyperpigmentation, or whatever, it's not going to happen if you rely on the esthetician to do it. And because of that, you're going to stop coming because you don't see any difference. You've gone to this person for 6 months and you don't see a difference. Well, you'll never see a difference because you aren't using the home care products.
So let's talk about some of the active ingredients that can be used to eradicate discolorations or hyperpigmentation, such as hydroquinone. What can you tell us about the active ingredient hydroquinone?
Hydroquinone is the gold standard, and it's the only thing we can call a skin lightener because it can eradicate that lesion, depending on the strength of the percentage of that hydroquinone. But it is a product that you should not use more than 3 to 4 months. And my clients, after the 3 or 4 months, I give them more of a plant-based skin brightener to, continually help with lightening or brightening that skin. Usually, if you've used that product for 4 or 5 months or whatever, or you've done 2 sessions of 3 months of using the hydroquinone and you don't see results, you're not going to ever get results.
Because the pigment is permanently damaged, right?
It's deep, deep, deep into. Now, you may go then to a doctor and he may be able to help you because he may be able to use a deeper peel or a laser, because a laser can target that depth of where it resides. 9 times out of 10, if it resides in the dermis, like sometimes with melasma caused by hormones or pregnancy, sometimes it'll lighten up, but to actually eradicate it, they may have to go and get a laser treatment. And again, that depends on their skin coloring and all.
Pamela, what is the likelihood of age spots or discolorations returning after having such a treatment?
And most people it does because they're not compliant with their sunscreen. Oh, I just go drive to work. Well, the sun is 3 times stronger when it penetrates through the glass. And then plus you get those rays, how the sun, you have to take your visor, to shield yourself from the sun. You have to be compliant. If you're running out to the mailbox, you run out to the mailbox 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and the sun hits that area that you've just worked on with the laser and eradicated is very sensitive to the sun now. So you're going to see it come right back.
Yeah, right. It'll come back so easily. This week, I actually had a skincare consultation with somebody who had like a discoloration or hyperpigmentation above their lip. Now, what had happened is she had gotten a lip wax and then walked across the street to her car. In that short of time, even just from waxing, she got hyperpigmentation. She has a dark discoloration over the top of her lip now.
Right, absolutely. Look at the layers of skin that are taken off when you wax, let's say, the mustache area or the brows or whatever. The person should have put sunscreen on that skin right away.
The skincare professional should have put sunscreen on the client before she left the salon or the spa or the office, wherever she went. I always do that, but I think a lot of estheticians are not always trained after a facial waxing to apply sunscreen.
And I always like to put the physical block. Did you know chemical sunscreens can cause hyperpigmentation?
No, I hadn't heard that. Tell us all about that.
Oh, now I'm bringing something new. Great. I love this part of it. The chemicals, a lot of times what happens is if your skin gets overheated, it will cause hyperpigmentation, especially in a person of color, or let's say someone, that tans very easily. Because remember, trauma stimulates the pigment cell to produce excess pigment. So if you're using a chemical and it heats up, it reacts to the skin and it gets very hot and causes the hyperpigmentation.
Wow.
So I always try to use a physical block on people of color or people who, and I'm going to make sure your audience understands it, instead of me saying people of color, people who tan very easily.
Okay.
Okay. You're prone to this phenomenon with the sunscreen. So using a physical block with titanium dioxide or zinc oxide is the best way for any skin type, because it actually deflects the ray. It bounces off of the skin. The chemical, sometimes it can penetrate, and a lot of times people don't put the chemical sunscreen on properly. I've been taught to actually put it on before your moisturizer because it doesn't penetrate. And lastly, you have to have that product on at least 20 to 30 minutes before you go outdoors. Some people put it on and run right outdoors. You have no protection at all.
Right. It has to kind of sink in a little.
Absolutely.
One of the problems that people who tan easy have with the physical sunscreen or sunblock is that it actually makes their face look white. But your company, A Global Solutions, kind of has fixed that problem with their spray-on sun protector. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, and that's a physical block, and most, especially men love it because they don't like that greasy feeling. Mm-hmm. Runners love it because they can carry it and then just spray on. But it is a micronized titanium dioxide, and it's in a form where it sprays on, so it immediately is absorbed into the skin.
Yeah, it is like an amazing product. That is one of the best products that I have tried so far as a sunscreen, because I don't like greasy, heavy sunscreens.
Right. Most people don't. It feels, It just feels sticky on the skin, and it feels like your pores can't breathe, when you have that feeling. So when I talked to the lab, we came up with that, and the other sunscreen is only a 15 SPF, but a lot of women love it because it's a moisturizer and a primer for makeup.
Oh yeah, I actually love that product too. Maybe we should tell the listeners the names of these two products.
Well, one of them is called Sun Protector 29. That's the spray. And the one that is a primer moisture, I call it a 3-in-1, but the actual name is Antiox Gel. It has antioxidants in that sunscreen, which fights free radicals.
And that one's a 15. And that one kind of goes on over your moisturizer before your makeup because it's a primer. It has that silky feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really, women love it. I mean, for the professional, they used to have the small 2 ounce, but the professional, now they can get it in 8 ounces for that sunscreen because of course they're using it, in their practice. So they're seeing clients, and they tend to love that because of the fact that it makes the skin feel so silky and soft.
Yeah, clients love that silky feel, when a product has that silicone in it, it just feels good. Seems like a lot of times we pick our skincare by the way it feels rather than what it does. Thanks.
Absolutely. Because look at all the sunscreens we just talked about that are phenomenal as far as protection. But what did you say? I don't like a greasy feel.
Exactly. All right, now that we have our sunscreen, Pamela, what other ingredients should we be using that can help correct hyperpigmentation?
Okay, when we talked about hydroquinone, I'm going to give you some other ingredients. Let's say you have your person on the product for 3 months, and I like to give a rest, but they're seeing some results, pretty good results, but they've been on it too long. Then I would put them on, I have a spot fading serum, but it's all your plant-based skin brighteners, like your arbutin, like your mulberry. Another product I love is, and I find that others, and I shouldn't keep saying I love it, I love a lot of my products because I formulated them. But what I find the consumer or your clients love, I have a mandelic acid. Mandelic acid is not only great for hyperpigmentation, but it's also great for acne. I mean, it's like a 2-for-1 for someone who gets the dark spots after a breakout. So there's so many ingredients. I'm not sure if I mentioned kojic acid. The only thing about kojic acid is sometimes some skins, if you use it too long, it can cause irritation leading to contact dermatitis. So you have to be cautious. Now, when we talked about the ultra lightening serum, that actually has your kojic. It has your hydroquinone in it. Of course, ours are 2%. A doctor probably would give you a 4% hydroquinone. But to make sure that ingredient penetrates, it has an alpha hydroxy acid to actually take the ingredients deeper into the skin to brighten up and break up that pigment. So it has the arbutin, it has the kojic, it has the AHA, and then I mentioned the hydroquinone. So, and azelaic acid is great for hyperpigmentation and also for acne. So those 4 ingredients really gives you the 1-2 punch when it comes to pigment. But like I said, if that pigment resides deeper in the layers of the skin, it's only going to lighten. It will not actually resolve, or you won't get rid of it, but you'll get a good results by using that. But again, you should only use it 3 or 4 months consistently.
So let's say a consumer buys, well, we're talking about professional products. I mean, the over-the-counter lightening things are just, as far as I'm concerned, they do nothing.
Right.
They take your money. They take your money and run because
exactly. And that's why the one I have for the consumer, is 2% hydroquinone, like you're going to see over the counter. But I put in other ingredients to kick it up a notch by, like I said, the AHA is going to carry that ingredient deeper. But then I added the kojic acid, which is another skin lightener, carry it down. It has the mulberry in there and arbutin. So those ingredients end up being carried deeper, but you don't have just the hydroquinone.
I'm sorry, say that again, the skin lighteners?
No, I was just saying you don't just have the hydroquinone, you have other skin lighteners that will that's added to it to really make it more powerful than what you would get over the counter. And I always like the people to understand this. When you get a product over the counter and you're just looking at it and said, oh, look at this, I can get this for $10, and I go to my esthetician and she's charging me $28. Well, the difference is we talked about it, I think, on our last call. You're looking at ingredients, natural or powerful ingredients at your esthetician, because it's going to have more actives, where the one that's $10 has a lot of fluff to it. It has a lot of fillers. It doesn't have the active ingredients. When you look at the peeling agent, let's say it's an AHA, it is not going to be at the top of the ingredients index. It's going to be lower, so you're not getting that, that powerful product. And you say, I'm only going to pay $10, but the product might only last a month. All right, where that product that you bought for $28 may last for 3 months or 2.5 months. So in the long run, you're saving because that product that you bought that was from your esthetician is going to be more concentrated, so you don't have to use it as much. And I think that's where the public doesn't understand.
You're absolutely right about that, Pamela. I have found that to be so true. When you look at, take it, for example, Global Skin Solutions, your skincare line, or any good professional skincare line, you'll notice that there's only a handful of ingredients. That means that it only has the ingredients and the supportive ingredients that can really correct the skin. You don't have a bunch of fillers, a bunch of preservatives, a bunch of unnecessary ingredients in the product.
Also, you talk about, let's say, aloe. Okay, where did they extract the aloe from? My product, I have an aloe leaf toner, which has no alcohol, no irritants in it. They're getting it from the whole leaf. They're not putting it in from the stems or, in some ingredients, when you buy it, I think we discussed this also one time, is that where are they getting the ingredients from? That's what's important. And sometimes that's the reason a product costs more, because it's where their suppliers are getting that ingredient.
And also, I think I've talked about this before, but it's worth repeating, that professional skincare products are usually formulated with what they call pharmaceutical grade ingredients or ultra pure ingredients, where over-the-counter skincare is usually just formulated with cosmetic grade ingredients.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're more powerful. And, when you get off the table, you look at your skin, oh my God, and you feel it. And, oh, you're just so in love with your skin. Well, if you want to keep that up, your esthetician should, discuss with you and educate you on the home care product to keep that feeling and that glow that you have. Now, is it going to last forever? No. That's why you have to come back for another treatment, maybe in 3 or 4 weeks. And once you start really taking care of your skin, you're going to see as you age, you don't look like you're aging.
Right, exactly. We are just about ready to get bumped off of here today. So before we do, I want to let the listeners know, I know a lot of you listening today are probably not skincare professionals, and all of this information may seem a little overwhelming to you. So I want to let you know I do give free skincare consultations. I can help guide you into buying just the right products for your skin's type and condition. You can get a free consultation from me by contacting me, Deanna, at beautyradionetwork.com. If you're not ready to buy full-size products, you can start out with a starter kit and sample the products. Did you want to talk a little bit about that, Pamela?
Okay. It depends on whatever your skin condition is. And it's generally what I call a travel collection. And it has it's by the condition. So if you have hyperpigmentation or uneven skin or, dark spots or discoloration, this is the kit you would get. It would have 5 products in it: your cleanser, your toner. It then has your specialty product, which would be concentrated on the dark spots and discoloration. You'll have your moisturizer and your sunscreen. So you get 5 products. If you have acne, we have what we call the blemish kit. so forth and so on. So I've made it easier because it is hard for a lot of your clients to go and choose products and not understanding, and they watch TV and they see a commercial and assume that's the product for their skin, and it may not be. In fact, it's just a commercial selling a product, but then you need all the other things. One product is not going to change your skin. You need products that work together, that's in synergy with one another to get the results that you're looking for. And that begins with a cleanser.
Right. And again, if you do need help, I'm here to help. I offer free skincare consultations. Contact me, request one, Deanna at beautyradionetwork.com. Now, on the other hand, if you are a skincare professional and you want to get more intense training, or you want to get treatments to use on your clients in the office, or if you'd like to have some retail products for your clients, Pamela, where can people contact you?
Well, they can either call me, and that's 855-290-5450, or email me, and I'm going to have them send it to my personal email, which is info, I-N-F-O, at Pamela, P-A-M-E-L-A, Springer, SPRINGER.com. Info at PamelaSpringer.com. Or if you're a licensed professional, you can go right on my website, which is globalskin-solutions.com. And you can register, and you will be able to get your products wholesale once you upload your medical license or aesthetic license.
Pamela, could you tell us a little bit more about the training that you have to offer? Now, this is training for only licensed skincare professionals. This is advanced training.
Training is usually either on-site, where I'll come to you, or through Skype or Zoom. And a lot of, estheticians are new in the business, so they don't have employees. So we do a one-on-one. And actually, Skype has been phenomenal because I send you a questionnaire just to get an idea of what direction you'd like to go into. And then your training is from there.
God, there was something else I wanted to ask you. Now I totally forgot. Well, I can't remember. So, Pamela, is there anything else you'd like to add to the conversation before we sign off today?
Well, I just want your listening audience to understand the importance of even just going and seeing an esthetician, because most of the time the skin analysis is free, and they have the tools to actually look at the skin and actually know possibly, the best direction that you should go into, because a healthy skin is so important today, because there's so much sun that we live, around, and there's people that unfortunately have skin cancer and they don't realize it. And those individuals, skin of color, you Hispanics and Latinos and African Americans and darker Asian skin types, you have to wear sunscreen. They don't want to wear it, but you have to, because now skin cancer is in skin of color. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's a squamous cell, where if you're a Caucasian, they just take it and excise it out, where in skins of color it metastasizes. So I'm not trying to scare anybody, but you have to be responsible for your own health and well-being. So go and talk to someone or see somebody, and even get your whole body checked, because the sun is deadly today.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. All right. Well, Pamela, thank you for giving us so much information today. It's a pleasure, as always, having you on. And I hope to talk to you soon. If I don't, I want you to have a great holiday. And we'll have you on again maybe at the first of the year when things aren't so hectic for you.
I know, because we're getting that season where there's a lot of hustle and bustle and craziness for that one special day. So I wish everyone a happy holiday and be safe. And, I look forward to 2017. I don't look forward because I got to get older. That's the only thing. But other than that, I look forward to a new year because to me, it's a new beginning.
All right. Thank you, Pamela.
You're more than welcome.
Ask the Beauty Advisor is a part of the Beauty Radio Network. If you have a podcast or need help in starting a podcast and would like to be a part of a free, supportive network, then learn more by contacting Deanna at beautyradionetwork.com.